Have you ever seen the brisket flats in your store and wonder what you could do with it? Most all of us barbecue guys, we do whole packer briskets. We smoke them from beginning to end. We create a good bark. We slice them, and from that we make sandwiches, we make enchiladas, we do all sorts of things with this brisket, or just eat it straight up. In this video, I'm going to show you how to utilize a brisket flat in a very, very good taco recipe. Brisket tacos coming up right after this.
If you wanna cook backyard barbecue till you get your feel, you come to the right place. Restaurant Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs.
So here is a brisket flat. This does not have the point on it. This is not a whole packer brisket. This is a USDA Choice Angus. Pretty expensive, even at Sam's Club. $42 for a 5.5 pound brisket flat. A lot of people shy away from the brisket flat, and they're actually hard to find in most of your places because this is the leaner cut of the brisket and it will tend to dry out. But in this recipe, the way I'm going to do it, that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. So hang around and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. But first, I'm going to take this out of the cryovac. I'm going to apply a layer of salt and a layer of pepper, not real heavy, because what's coming next is where it's going to get its real flavor. Be right back. Just salt. You don't have to go real heavy on this, just good coverage. That's all you're looking for. Cracked black pepper. Going to flip it over, do the exact same thing. All right, on this side you do notice a fat cap. It's not a very thick fat cap. It's around 1/8 of an inch. Do a lot of it, maybe 1/4 of an inch here towards the end, and all that's staying. I'm not dare taking none of that off. All right, so we're going to take our brisket. We're going to go fat down right there. Brisket flat is loaded, and if you notice, I don't know if you can see it, but now I'm reading 250 degrees. By opening this door up, it removed a lot of that heat that was built and trapped inside this chamber, telling you this is one tight smoker. Love it. Now, I'm going to be smoking this for around 2 to 3 hours, just getting a good smoke and a nice color on it. At that point, I'll show you what we're doing next. Been going 3 hours exactly. I just took a peek at this, and it's looking pretty good. I'm going to take a glove here, and we're going to remove this brisket, and we're going to lay it right here in this pan. Ooh, got some nice color on it. Yes, sir. Into the pan we go. Got good smoke, good color. Now what I'm going to do now is we're going to make a braising liquid. All right, I'm going to take 4 cups of beef broth. That's how much this container holds. Now into the beef broth, I've got 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce going in. Going in with additional 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just guesstimating, and keep in mind that the broth does have sodium in it. There's not a lot required. It is a big hunk of meat though, and we did salt it previously. All right, we're gonna hold with that. Some cracked black pepper. Going in with a teaspoon of cumin. Going in with a teaspoon of chipotle powder. Now into that, I've got 1 yellow onion that I've just chopped very big. Along with that, I also have 5 cloves of garlic, poblano pepper, and cilantro. 1 poblano pepper, 5 cloves of garlic, and about a tablespoon and a half of cilantro going in. Give all this a good mix. All right, now we're going to transfer this into our braising pan. I've done a smoke, I've added smoke, I've got color. Now we're going to finish it off by braising. It will go a lot faster. So I'm going in with some more beef broth. I'm not going to cover this. As a matter of fact, that looks pretty good right there. So that's a total of 4 cups of beef broth that I've got into this, and that should be fine. What I'm going to do now is wrap this tightly with foil. I mean real tightly. You want to steam this brisket. It's going to be fast. It's not going to take long. Couple hours and we're looking at some really pull apart tender brisket. All right, so I'm removing my top shelf to make room for this pan. So I'll set it off to the side, onto the smoker. Perfect fit. I'm gonna bring the smoker up to about 300, 325. We'll see you in a few hours. Now, so you know, right after I put this in, I realized I left one ingredient out, and I also realized I didn't put a thermometer in there to monitor this cook. So I reopened it and took care of both of those issues, and we still have a really nice color on this. This has been going about an additional 3 hours since I put it in here and put all the braising liquid, and even with the wrap you can see that quite a bit of the braising liquid is evaporated out. We are at 213 degrees. Oh yes, that feels just like butter. Let's see if you can see that. 213, 213. We are even all the way across this. This is looking good. 213. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and uncover this. We're gonna set it off to the side here. We're just gonna let this cool off a little bit to where we can handle it. While the brisket's cooling off, I'm gonna go ahead and put some corn tortillas on my griddle here. We're gonna warm these through, make them nice and pliable. And that's really all you're looking for, just that little bit of brownness on there. Just heat them through. We're just gonna reach in here and we're just gonna pull all this apart. This is super hot, so if you do it like this, you wanna make sure you got some good gloves, and that's what you're wanting there, is those long strands. This is gonna be fantastic, smells fantastic. Completely different way of doing brisket from what you normally see here on YouTube with the barbecue channels. It's very moist, very tender, gonna be very delicious. We're gonna go ahead and put one of these Tex-Mex type street tacos together. We're gonna go on with a little brisket right there on the bottom. I think I want a little bit more than that. Maybe just a tad more than that. Yeah, that's looking good right there. Now onto that, we're gonna take and add some fresh pico de gallo. If you don't know how to make pico de gallo, I've got tons of videos where I've used this, made this. You can just search it anywhere on the internet. It's very simple. All fresh ingredients. Now onto that, we're gonna put some cojita cheese. Put a little Mexicana crema. We're gonna finish it off with a little bit of cilantro. And a squeeze of lime.